All right, so after my sort of bum slash nostalgia critic review, you might be wondering what my real thoughts are on Transformers 4, or if that even was my real thoughts, and it kind of is, honestly. It's funny because I think this is like I should. Well, first of all, why isn't Rob here? Literally out of principle, he decided not to see it. He decided to forego a sibling rivalry. He said, I know it's going to be bad. I've learned my lesson. I'm not seeing these. And thankfully, he's in a position where he can do that. This is a big thing. Anything that's like a big phenomenon in terms of like movies and yeah, I mean, especially movies. I mean, I kind of got to cover. I mean, it is my job, even if it's bad, how my life is making fun of bad movies. Yeah, so we got... So he didn't go see it. I knew I wasn't going to like it, but I didn't know it was going to be this autopilot. I mean, it's like we got new Transformers. We got new main characters. We got rid of Witwicky, like he's gone. I sort of thought, well, okay, maybe this will be better. He was getting pretty annoying. His parents were ungodly annoying, and... to go over the other films real fast, I mean, I liked the first film, even though I acknowledge it's really stupid. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. I thought at the time we never really saw action like that from giant robots punching themselves. I mean, it really was sort of like a teenage badass Saturday morning cartoon, really. And that's... I mean, granted, the original Transformers is for 8-year-olds, and it was only there to sell products, but... it was cool, and there was kind of this weight to introducing the Transformers and building them up, and but it never took itself too seriously, and I liked it. But if someone doesn't like it, I'm not gonna defend it as one of our greats. I mean, I know it's stupid, but I really liked it. And then you got... I'm just gonna say the second and third one together because they're the exact same movie, and they're the exact same movie as the first one. Nothing was different about them. And it's a shame because when I saw the first film, I was actually thinking maybe Michael Bay is the guy to direct these in a sense because they still speak to a wide audience, but they still give us kind of what we're looking for. They gave us Optimus Prime. He has the voice. They didn't make up new Transformers or whatever. I mean, there still are Transformers. And I sort of like the first one because it was almost a satire of his style. Like there was people kind of laughing and kind of cheering at some point. And there's actually a few moments in the sequels where I felt they got it right with that, like in, I want to say it was 3, with the moon landing. And they're like, it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, cut transmission. Okay, let's go for why we're really here. And it's to get a Transformer. That bullshit is wonderful. And this film starts off similar. Didn't you know that it wasn't a meteor, it wasn't any of that destroyed the dinosaurs, it was Transformers? Didn't you know that? And that nonsense is wonderful, and I wanted more of that. It's so funny how that's 2 movies in a row now that started off with that silliness. I really thought, oh, maybe this will be okay. Like, maybe this will be just so friggin' out there and silly and stupid that I'll be able to enjoy it. But no, it just goes to the exact same thing. And you got Mark Wahlberg as Shia LaBeouf, and his daughter in this movie who's, playing Megan Fox. Some surfer dude who's like, since Michael Bay realized, oh, I can't make fun of black people now, I might as well just make fun of white people. This movie is kind of racist against white people, although you could argue that LaBeouf's parents in the movie were kind of racist to white people. Nobody looks good in a Transformer movie. It's not pro any race, gender, anything. So anyone that says they're racist, you're right, but it's racist against everybody. Everyone looks awful. So he's he's a bit better than Shia LaBeouf, but he's still written as nothing. He's the wide-eye inventor who just wants to make something and provide, but he's getting a little too far, but he just knows if he believes and trusts a little harder and stuff, but he's an overprotective dad, and the daughter who's like a fucking knockout, of course. You can't have an attractive woman in a Michael Bay film, or unattractive anybody, really. Of course, she's... don't you go dating boys. Of course he has a boyfriend. Of course he's, a friggin' knockout. And of course he has the cool car. So, and then the government in this, oh man. I mean, this is like bad 80s comedy climax. They're all in black cars. They all have the black trench coats. They have the black shades, which, like I said, if the rest of the movie was kind of like that in a strange way, I wouldn't mind, but it's trying to be really intense. Like, no, these really are the bad guys, man. These really are, and it's so bad. And Kelsey Grammer leads them, and sometimes he's kind of fun in how over the top he is, but not enough. And I think I said in the review, the NC review, Optimus Prime is a fucking psycho, and I guess you'd understand because like now mankind just wants to destroy Transformers because Michael Bay needs his slow-mo bullshit of somebody suffering and, you know, somebody shaking their head saying, what was it for? Is it worth it? Just so they can get back up and say yes! And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it makes not a lick of sense whatsoever. It just needs somebody to be down in slow motion, shaking their head saying, my God, is it worth it? And someone triumphantly getting up saying yes! Nothing else needed. That is the formula. So they find that the Transformers are in hiding now because the big bad government wants to take them down. There's a new enemy, I forget what he's called, but he kind of wants to collect Optimus Prime for like his collection, kind of. And again, which would be fun, but no, it's serious. And then it's like, so they're trying to outrun these guys and the government while partaking in not one funny joke in the whole thing. I was actually amazed that there wasn't one laugh in the whole thing. I mean, like, 2 and 3, as bad as they are, it's like, I at least giggled maybe twice. I mean, this didn't have a laugh. It was amazing. So, I'm trying to think of what else. Okay, so they're just action scenes. I mean, like, none of them connect to anything. I mean, it's like you think 2 and 3 are bad for not connecting to anything. It's like they get 10 minutes longer each film. There's literally a scene where Stanley Tucci, who's actually not that bad in this, but he's a guy and he's owning this company and he's got this big bad bomb, the Seed or whatever, and he's just trying to outrun these guys and he's in an elevator and they just show him waiting on the elevator and kind of talking, and then some guys come in, and then his assistant kicks their ass, and then he goes up on the elevator. I mean, it was like 5-6 minutes dedicated to it. It's like, what was the point of that? You could have just cut that. There was, and then the guy in the elevator also gets out and fights, and so we have no idea who that guy is or what his story is or anything. It just fights, and yeah, it's Megatron's back, like in the, I don't know if it was halfway or the last third, because they had like, 8 climaxes. The whole film is one long climax. And, but he barely does anything. He has a little fight, I think, in the middle, and then he just says, you go there, you go there. And then it's like, oh wait, that other guy's the bad guy. Maybe I should go over here. And then when it's all said and done, it's like, this isn't over. I'll see you in Transformers 5, which is like, fuck. Because it's one thing if you saw it opening night, which I didn't. And you see it and you just sort of are hoping, we'll see how this does and everything. But knowing it already made $100 million at the box office over the weekend, and when you hear that line, you're just like, shit, they're gonna do it and I'm gonna have to see it. Fuck. And I'm trying to even think how it ends. Optimus Prime goes up into space. Why are there no fucking battles in space? Okay, the climax in this movie, all 12 or 20 of them, it's not even in a new city. It's in Chicago. That's climax 1. And then it goes to, I think, Hong Kong. And it's like, okay, it's a little different, but come on, guys. You got mountains, you got space, you got other planets. Our planets and our cool spaceships that you can design at least a little differently. Not just metal on metal, not just stuff that looks like Transformers porn, and that's it. It just looks like a bunch of Transformers, compacted together while making out. That's the ship. That's the design of the whole movie. And it just gave me nothing, and it was so long, and it was so boring. And the funny thing is, on, like, the annoyance meter, like, 2 or 3 is probably worst. But by the fact that so many years have gone by since the first film, and just nothing has changed. They are giving us the exact same bullshit. I mean, stuff that, early 90s, would sort of say, okay, this is getting a little old. I mean, and they just keep giving it to us. So, I don't know, man. That whole bit I went on as the NC and everything, I mean, it really was just playing through my mind. I really did just want to go to some of those people and just be like, isn't there anything better you can do with your life right now? What is this giving you? What could this possibly give you? And I don't know, like I said, I'm very much of the philosophy that you can like what you like and don't let anyone tell you what not to like, but I mean, I don't know, what is it honestly doing now that is of any substance? I mean, even the first one didn't have much substance, but it was still, it was still a little different, and it still gave us something on a grand scale, and this is just the exact same scale. Hell, I think it's gone down a bit. The Transformers, I think, look awful. I mean, like, I'm not talking about the designs. I mean, I'll at least give it that. Like, at least I could tell some of them apart. Like, oh, that's Samurai Transformer. That's Walter from Big Lebowski Transformer. At least I could tell them apart. But yeah, what is it doing that you're like, yeah, I'm glad I saw that. That gave me something that the other films didn't give me. Even the fucking dinosaurs. Like, I was waiting for the dinosaurs. I want to see some robot dinosaur action. Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur. I mean, come on, let's go. And they're only in it for a few minutes at the end. You had that whole build-up in the opening with, like, them turning the dinosaurs into these robots or whatever they were doing. And it's like, oh, this is going to be so much fun, but it's shaky cam, it's slow-mo of people spinning. Whoa. They even repeat on the highway chase, that has to be in all of them. There's even one scene where, like, they're driving and the Transformers, the cars, whatever, and then they trip or they fall out and they turn to robots and the people that were inside are flying. What do? You saw this. They grab them and they put them back inside, transform back into cars. It's like the exact same fucking thing, except this time they go through a truck and two other people scream. What is that adding? I'll say it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off because I'm so tired. And I have to go. People who saw this movie, if you're not gonna think for yourselves, at least think for us. At least think that we have to go see this stuff. You have a choice, we don't. But yeah, I can't figure it. And I'm not saying that anyone who wants to see this film, is stupid or whatever. I clearly don't understand it. I just don't grasp it at all. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it can be, I mean, that's pompous to say, but if it can be explained to me, but because I just get the feeling it's going to be like, just, oh, but it's awesome, explosions and big thing. And it's like, just, I don't know. Is there something else? Is there something just clearly really fun and cool that I'm missing? I just can't believe how boring Michael Bay has made action. He's just made it so boring. But maybe that is a good thing, and maybe it really is. Because now, I really mean what I say when I said this year has actually been pretty good for summer films, and last year was wonderful for summer films. It was a very female-dominated last year too, which I think is probably better because it's like, yeah, you'll have the action and stuff, but they'll talk. They'll actually talk about stuff, and it's like, hey, remember caring? It's like they'll kind of do that here. So, yeah, I don't know what it is about it, and I don't think it's going to bring down cinema. I really think this sort of style of filmmaking and everything, I think it's kind of like, not that it's on its way out or anything, because clearly this made a lot of money, but I think there's just more people are seeing value in, clever, and funny and smart, along with the action. A Lego Movie was a very smart movie. Who the hell would have thought that? But it was, and it was extremely clever. And animated films now are so much more interesting than they were before. So I still think we're getting a lot of good films, really. Again, I grew up in that dark age of from like Batman and Robin to Godzilla. That dark 3 or 4 years. But yeah, I guess there's always going to be an audience for just dumb explosions and with nothing else added. I mean, it's just there's always going to be an audience for Twilight, or terrible romances. I mean, it's just it's playing to the most primal of humans. I'm just saying, wouldn't you choose to evolve? I mean, it's like I know we're born this way and we're animals and stuff, but wouldn't you choose to have more given to you? I can't remember if this made it in the review at all, but I was saying it's like eating fast food, and I eat fast food sometimes too, but the reason we don't eat much better food or healthier food, whatever, usually, I mean, like healthy food that actually tastes good, is because it costs more, and junk food is cheap, and fast food is cheap and fast and all that stuff. Movies, they cost the exact same. Why not? Why not see something that's going to challenge you? Why not see something that's going to add something and not take away? This just took away two and a half, not even 2.5, like 2 hours, 45 minutes, something like that, out of my life, so I don't know. It's in a strange way, it pissed me off more, even though I know it's not technically the worst, but it's just frustrating. It's like watching a drug addict who will never learn, or an alcoholic, I'm not talking about the people who go see it, I'm just talking about the films in general. It's like, oh, come on. It's like, I think Michael Bay has to have some. He made the first one, and he knows the potential of marketing and making something fun, but, just challenge yourself, guy. I mean, if not for, the movie-going public, just challenge yourself. Do something different, reestablish yourself, recreate yourself. I mean, you got the money, you're pretty much set. Why not do something different? Why not try something really out there and goofy and fun that's not Transformers? I mean, that's because it's not goofy and fun anymore. You just press rewind. You got millions of dollars thrown at you just to push the rewind button, and except you didn't just push the button, you had people work really hard to create these giant special effects to create the exact same things we saw. They're just given different names or slightly different designs, or I don't know, throw a dinosaur in the last 10 minutes. That's, and we're falling for it. So, I don't know. This is really bitter. I'm sorry. It is what I think, and if you like it, I don't get it. But I don't know if I want to. Maybe I do, just so I can understand more. But yeah, I don't get it, man. Everyone's gonna have their own taste, and this just clearly isn't mine. So yeah. I think you can get a gist from my thoughts on it and what you probably think. So, guys, I will see you later. Take care.